This is the Basement Kitchen Show. Today on the Basement Kitchen Show, we're going to be talking about knives. Now, knives come in a variety of styles, and made out of a variety of materials, and have a variety of uses. So knowing what you're going to use for the type of food or job is important. And it's good to know a good price for a good knife. Because let's be honest, there are some knives that are just too expensive for the uses that they are needed. Good deals everywhere, like the sandwich knife, which I got at a dollar store for $1, but it feels like it should be $15. And I'm going to, you got this bread knife, which I got online. It's Tony Luke knife. If you've seen him on TV, you'll know him. It's a great bread knife. And this knife, I can't say what logo it is, but this knife retail is $8, and I got on sale for $30, so that was a great day for me. You got Santoku knife, which I got at the regular kitchen store for a good price. Then you got this right here. It's called a scallop knife, and it's usually just used for slicing things like hams, roasts, and I've seen people slice salmon with it. There's pizza cutters. This one's got a pie server with it. Now, this actually is not a knife you'll find at the kitchen store. This is actually one you'll find at the hardware store. It's called a board cutter knife, I think. I'll correct that if I get it wrong. But I use this for butternut squash and pumpkins because they're very hard vegetable to cut, and even these knives, you really need these teeth for that type of job. And this has got a non-stick coating with these little holes so that there's no drag. I got this. This was labeled as a sushi knife, and I got this for $7. And actually, it does good for slicing fish. I did that, and I'm going to do a video about that too one day. Scissors. Everyone needs scissors. Okay, you just do. For opening packages and everything like that, it's very practical. I got this at a flea market. It's a cheese knife, and you got this little fork right here so you can get things like pickles out of the jar. That's nice. Got it for about $7. And this paring knife is very good too. A standard chef knife, which cost me $50 probably. It's been about 5 or so years since I bought that. This one's interesting. This is a carbon steel knife, and it can stain some foods. I forget which. I'll put that in the description down below. But it's made in a factory, and it's got a wooden handle, and it feels for its size, it feels very, very light, and it looks very, very nice. Got it for $35 plus shipping on an online store. This one, it just got a strange edge, and I use this mainly instead of my chef knife nowadays. It's got a strange shape, it's got a good grip handle and all that, and it is very sharp. And they got this is a miniature Santoku. This is good for people who have small hands, and you can probably find these at stores for about $8. And we got electric knives, which you can use for carving knives in place of this right here if you don't have it. They're relatively cheap, easy to use, and you can take this apart, wash it, and use it for getting out cakes out of those that, if you have those round cake pans where you're trying to get cakes out, you can put these at the edge, pull these out of the edge to make it easier for the cake to release. That's a good thing. Now, I doubt that everyone's going to have a scimitar, and honestly, I don't know if there's any practical reason to have this unless you're a butcher or buying huge pieces of meat, like whole New York strip steaks together that isn't sliced. Then there's other knives. There's knives with that have these sheaths in. This was probably made so that when you get in so if you leave your knife in the drawer, you won't accidentally cut yourself. Honestly, most knives don't have these things, so I do not think that you should have your knives in a drawer, because you can actually cut yourself by accident. Trying to get a butter knife or a fork, something like that, it has happened to me several times. So, don't do that. We're going to be talking about where and how to place knives in our video. Okay, so wait for part 2. Why would I spend several dollars on a variety of knives when I can buy a whole set like this for like $40? Well, it's very simple. You see, these things are made cheap, and these knives can only fit in this, okay? So, you get bad knives that got bad balance, and they may break very easily, or dull very easily, because they are made cheaply. So they're not a very good idea for most people, especially when you want a variety of knives that want to do specific things. Like I mentioned, I showed all those other knives, and they're very good for what they do, and they're very good prices for those knives. We're going to be talking about where to put the knives in the next video. So, these, unless you barely cook or use knives at all, don't do this. Don't buy these things. It's just not good. Now, next we're going to talk about sharpening knives, okay? Now, you will see this thing in stores. This is called a honing steel. Some people will call it a sharpening steel, but it is not sharpened. What will happen sometimes with the knife blade will do like this right here. So this helps the knife come like this when you hone it. Okay, it keeps it straight edge. And how you do this is you put your knife like this, and you put it at this angle right here. Okay. This will make it so that your knife stays sharp for a year, okay? A year longer. And the biggest accident with knives is dull knives, okay? A dull knife will get you hurt in the kitchen. Now, you've probably seen those knife sharpeners that, where you pull the knife through these little blade things. I wish I had one to show you, but I do not, because I think they damage the knives more than they help. Now, if you do have one of those things and tend to use one of those knife sharpeners, I suggest you want to do that at a knife that's under $20. Over that, and you're just doing more damage and more harm than good for the knife. Okay? There are places where you can take your knives to be sharpened at professional places, and places where there's a lot of restaurants, like in cities, there will be those places like that. And there are mail-order sharpeners where you can send your knives through the mail, and then they will ship them back for a price. And it will be sharp as the day you bought it. Probably even sharper, depending on which brand, because sometimes they just don't come sharp. There are customized knives where they will make a knife from scratch, and they'll give you a handle, but those things are extremely expensive. Probably $200 to $300 range, depending on what you need. Now, I myself have been thinking about getting one, but once again, it's expensive, okay? Also, do not put these things in the dishwasher. You hear me? Never. It wrecks the blade, it wrecks the handle, and the thing just does this and everything, and might damage your plates. Always hand wash these things with soap.
Take two.
You got this this wash thing that's got these little brush needles on top and long handle that's used for washing. Use that, a sink full of soapy water, and brush twice on each side, and just wipe with a paper towel, and then just put it up, okay? You do not want this hanging around in your dish dryer, okay, that can also lead to harm. This has been the Basement Kitchen Show. We've been talking about a good deal of knives, and we're going to be talking about where to store these knives properly next episode. So wait till that, and have a Merry Christmas.